Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Before we get started with our ramblings today, we want to discuss the upcoming fundraiser for the Nichols Center.
We have an event coming up at the Nichols Center. It's Saturday, February 25th, and it's going to be held at the Douglasville Conference Center. It's a yearly gala that the Nichols Center puts on. It's one of their main fundraisers. And if you go to the link, there's a link at nicholscenter.org, and then you just click on events. You can get to the page for the gala. This one's called the Paradise Gala, Living in Wellness and Recovery. And it's mainly a fundraiser, but they'll have food. It's $115 a plate for entry, and it's a formal. I usually just wear a suit and tie, though. It's not like black tie, tuxedo formal, but suits and dresses for the ladies, but or anything formal for the ladies, whatever they want to wear. And they have a silent auction. It's going to be food. People are going to be talking. Different community leaders will be talking, and different organizations or different groups inside the organization, inside the Nichols Center, will be speaking at the event and talking about either their personal stories, how they got connected with the Nichols Center, or what the Nichols Center did for them. And they'll also have items for donation. They'll do a silent auction, stuff like that, with different items, gift cards, gift baskets, experiences like trips and stuff like that you can bid on. But all the proceeds go to help support the Nichols Center. And they also have different packages. They have different sponsorship levels that you can see when you go to the if you can't attend and you just want to be a sponsor and help, they'll help advertise your business or whatever you got going on. And it just all goes towards the Nichols Center to help them in their mission for helping people with wellness and recovery.
What time?
It's going to be February 25th. I think it's going from like 5 to 10 p.m. Okay. 5 p.m. to 10 or 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
It's 6 to 10.
Yeah. Tickets for the gala, though, if you're buying a plate, those stop going on sale February 20th at 5 p.m. So you got to get tickets before the 20th. But I'm trying to change here pretty soon. I'm still working with the veterans and first responders group. I'm trying to get a location. I'm looking at going to the American Legion here in Douglasville to try and see if I can entice more people to come out if it's like more of a neutral site. It's because there is kind of people don't like to come to the center for things like that when I don't know, there's kind of a stigma involved. You know what I mean? With veterans and first responders, they're like, basically when they're first getting into wanting to talk to people about things, there's kind of a stigma there. And it seems like they just don't want to be like, oh, I need to go to a center. And, so we figure I'm going to try and do the American Legion where there's food and drinks. And like I talked to Tara about it. I'm like, look, veterans and first responders, we meet at the bar. That's typically how that works. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, that's how we all communicated when we were in. We met at the bar. So I'm going to try and get the American Legion on board and see if we can meet one night a month at the American Legion when they're open, and just get a section in the back where we could, like, if people want to drink, there's an open bar, or not an open bar, but there's a bar. They can get drinks if they want to get a drink. We'll have food, and you can order food and just kind of hang out. And we can all talk.
What night
and try
is
and
poker
get
night?
Loose. I don't know. I'm still working on it. Still trying to figure out how to do this.
Find out when poker night is.
Yeah, poker night wouldn't be a bad idea, but like I said, it's kind of hard with working with the Nichols Center. I mean, not hard, but you're walking a fine line there. Their mission is recovery and wellness and getting people off of drugs and alcohol and stuff like that. And then you got groups like ours that are like, well, we want to go have a beer. We want to go have a beer and gamble. How's that work out? It doesn't work out too well when people are trying to get off that stuff. So we're kind of walking a fine line there, trying to figure out how we can position this to where it's not detrimental and it's not promoting anything horrible. We're just trying to get people to loosen up and get comfortable with talking about any issues they got that are bugging them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Sometimes that involves a can of beer, maybe some nachos, shrimp cocktail, not peel and eat. Eat them damn peel and eat shrimp.
It's too much light work. She getting a pound in a bucket.
Especially if you don't know they're peeling and eating, you just start eating them. Been there.
How many
Hey, man,
beers did you have?
Are your shrimp crunchy? Mine are crunchy.
You know what I do miss? You say that before the casinos changed to what they are now, the buffet was pretty much free if you stayed there, or they had a flat fee. You come in and
They still do that in Tunica.
I haven't been to Tunica, but prior to COVID, the last time I went, it wasn't the same because we would go down to Biloxi. There was this sweet spot down there. We'd get stone crab claws, and they had a notch pre-cut in them. You would hurt yourself. And
that's where you made your money back, baby.
Wow. You talking about if you never had stone crab claws dipped in butter, you're missing out. If you like lobster and crab claws and stuff like that, stone crab claws are really good if they're cooked properly. Me, Dad, Mr. Bill, and Granddad would be all there, and we'd have a table to ourselves, and we'd mound that shit up. And they would just be pushing it into a trash can, and it was just, oh my God. And the last time I was down there and it was like that is when Biloxi got snowed out. It was the first time in probably a century. Because since I was the youth at the time.
Biloxi's known for being hot as shit.
I had to get up on the motor coaches with warm water because the awnings got stuck out from the ice because the ice came early before the snow. And we had to retreat to Ocala, Florida to get away from the blizzard that had pushed into Biloxi. It was quite an interesting trip.
Fun fact, Ocala, horse capital of the world.
I don't think I've ever called in late for work the day before for snow in a different state. It told him, well, we got away from the snow. He goes, well, when can you get here? I think the champion was the supervisor at that time. I said, we're in Florida now. The storms was then at that point moving into Georgia. So I was still 300 miles away. It was funny.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
What in the hell was your wife doing in the kitchen the other day that made you post, my wife is doing white woman things in the kitchen? And
do you know what, when
somebody
I say,
was shaking a hot dog?
when I say white woman things, like what comes to mind? Like just
not a broom.
Nothing comes to mind.
I'm just saying, like cooking wise, like when you think white woman cooking, and I'm not talking Southern Baptist either.
Spaghetti and hot dogs.
This is latter millennial generation. White woman things.
Cooking with no seasoning. Is that what she's doing?
She burned water in a pot.
We're known for. No, she was frying up some hot dogs.
She fried a hot dog.
Yeah,
like a Nathan's?
Yeah.
Hey,
careful.
I fry. We called them rippers.
Yeah, especially the day that damn Nathan's hot dog whooped my ass all the way home.
And I kind of, I gave her a hard time. I felt bad about posting that after. So she's probably going to kill me when she listens to this.
Yeah, probably. When I was working the concession stand, I bought hot dogs at Sam's Club, like big old boxes of hot dogs. And before I would cook fries in a deep fryer, I'd probably do 50 to 60 hot dogs in the deep fryer. I put them in there and you just cook them until they start floating and they'd rip. Once you see them rip, yank them out of the oil, let them dry for a minute. And them some bitches were delicious. And it was weird. They weren't even greasy.
Yeah, I was just giving her a hard time. I have made it my mission though to put a stop to the TikTok white women who like this lady the other day made like lasagna out of McDonald's food items.
No.
It was horrible. I was like, what the fuck is this? She had a layer of Big Macs, then a layer of fries, tomato sauce. I mean, it was awful.
Tomato sauce? What the?
Syrup. She had some syrup on there too.
No, don't tell me it ain't so.
Yeah, and McChickens on top. I mean, it was horrible.
That sounds as bad as that woman that came out of Walmart, got to the car and picked a bottle of syrup out of the buggy and was doing shots with it in the parking lot.
Oh, that I can get that I can get behind. I mean,
if you saw her, you wouldn't get behind it.
No. I'm just saying the drinking of the syrup.
It was a drive to get around the backside of it.
She had a sign in there that said "Next tooth 1 mile."
Yeah, I bet.
This was an Alabama woman. Okay.
Oh no, she was straight out of Cartersville.
Cartersville. Oh, yeah. So she was doing that. And you got these, it was really referencing the idiots on TikTok. And what it is these women are taking their non-culinary asses and just trying to like be the next cool thing, like the next cool one pot dish, or let's fucking cook everything together. I saw somebody cooking fucking whole eggs and they had the
shell and all.
Yeah, this lady put a whole egg in the middle of a pan and then threw some Werther's caramels in there. And I forget what she ended up making with it, but it was fucking disgusting looking. I was just like, what the hell? Another lady put ramen. It was 4 eggs, not scrambled up or anything, just like whole eggs dropped in there. And
just crack them and drop them.
Yeah, just crack them and drop them, and then ramen noodles, some cheese on the bottom of the pan, and they dump fucking water in there. I was like, it was almost looking good for a second. Thought she was gonna whip me up some frying pan hibachi or something.
Yeah, I've seen some horrible creations. I'm like, that's just a fucking hard. You wonder why people are fat as hell.
Yeah, there's this guy who does chef reactions on there, and he is hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, Heather watches those guys. There's one guy she watches all the time. And he's like, okay, let's see what they got going. Oh, my God, what are you doing?
Yeah. Is that the guy who rates it like 1 to 10?
Yeah.
And he tried? Yeah, same guy. Yeah.
Yeah. He's like on board for a minute, and then he's like, oh, shit, what did she just do?
He's okay, all right. Okay.
Oh, no, honey, no.
Yes, you were on the right track.
You were almost there.
You put the salt and pepper on it.
Yeah. It was close to healthy.
It's funny you say that because it's so true, because they call it the SAD diet, standard American diet, and it's just garbage for the average person these days. But,
well, and I tell you what, the prices of everything don't help. We've talked about that 100 times. When a cheeseburger is 99 cents and a salad's $7, there's a fucking problem.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
what are you going to do?
And a hot dog's $9.
Shit, even when I went, so I made pasta fazool soup for dinner tonight. It was my mom's recipe, pasta fazool. I went and got all the ingredients to make one crock pot of pasta fazool, and it was $27. And it was mainly just cans of stuff. Tomato sauce, stewed tomatoes, diced tomatoes, and like 3 cans of beans and chicken broth. And
sounds about right. I think
and a pound of ground beef.
I probably had $30, $35 into that chili recipe yesterday. Because that pork loin was like $12 by itself.
Which is cheap. A pound of ground beef was $8. A pound of ground beef, if you got like 90% lean, is $8.
So Tater, we did the
what is that? Hold it closer.
Chili cook-off.
Oh, okay.
New recipe. Let me throw this one in your earlobes.
Where'd y'all do this? At work?
At her work. We cooked it last night and she crock popped it in there. Here, just for Lyle.
Oh, very good.
Nice balls.
Yeah.
He says nice balls. Oh shit. We got your wife ain't nearby, is she?
No.
No.
Whose?
Which one? Just 2 of us.
The millennial.
Oh, no, she's not around. Oh, very good.
Oh, she's not allowed to see the gator?
You never know.
She's supportive.
Oh, well, this one might be a more appropriate color. Is that orange or brown? What is it?
You looking at your underwear? Oh.
I'm potty trained. What is this?
What the fuck?
I don't know why she's doing with Alabama.
You got a Braves one in there somewhere?
You got that one. You can take that one and chuck it out the fucking window.
It was Michael Harris Day in Henry County. Did you see that?
No.
Who's that?
He went Michael Harris. You don't know who Michael Harris is?
Outfielder for the Braves.
Yeah.
Come on, dog. I don't.
All right, man. Look, if you're gonna stay on this podcast, you have to step your Braves game up.
What do you think about Vaughn Grissom? What do you think about Vaughn Grissom picking up shortstop? I think he's going to do good.
Yeah, I think he'll be real good over there. But yeah, Michael Harris the second he went to Stockbridge High School.
Right. Yeah, I remember that he was a local boy when they got him.
Well, a lot of these kids are local, actually. That's what
Which is good.
Fucking kids. They're all like
they are. They're getting so much younger. See, you're starting to see it now because you're like, God damn, I used to be able to play that. Now I'm watching these kids.
It's funny because I'm sitting out there like the last couple of days. We went and bought all Memphis's baseball stuff, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do something for you that my parents probably wish they could have done for me. And so I bought a net and a tee and got him a halfway decent bat. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much everything he needed so that we could practice at home, like hit the ball and stuff. And so we did that, but he's picking it up really quick, which is good. Like he went from not being able to catch shit the first day to pretty much catching everything the second day.
Yeah, you get hit a couple times. You learn how to catch real quick.
I just don't have the heart, man. I don't have the heart to throw the ball at his head. He did get popped in the mouth though, because he had his
little man
caught the ball like this. Yeah.
He was glove up.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you're teaching little man your job.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. He's got a good teacher.
He will not catch.
Oh, you're not going to let him? You're just going to teach him?
Well, I mean, early years maybe, but I'm not going to let him destroy his knees the way I did.
It's rough. Catching's rough.
And they don't use knee savers anymore. I think they found out that really was actually making it worse.
Separating. Really? Well, I can understand that because you think about it. If you get lazy on a knee saver, you're separating the knee in the front, and the only thing to protect it is the pad and that piece of plastic off on the shin pad. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, you're basically sitting on your ass.
Well, I don't know if you think about it, you're pulling your knee apart.
Lever trying to pull your knee apart.
Yeah. So you're exposing more of the meniscus in that process. Just my thought.
Easy there, Captain Meniscus. What the hell?
Well, you get one replaced a few times. You remember terms.
A lot of them are teaching it very different these days. You're either in a sitting up stance and you're gonna have ridiculous quads, or
like a damn skier.
Yeah, or you're planting one knee or the other, kind of in like a kneeling position.
Really?
Yeah. One knee up, one down.
Yeah.
Yeah. That seems like it would make it harder to jump.
Yeah. If you do that, depending on how you're positioned, you're gonna, like, if someone steals second, you're throwing from your knees.
Well,
which is gonna be rougher on your arm.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm thinking just popping up. I mean, if you're in that position and the guy hits the ball and it's your ball, popping up would be harder.
Well, you got to think of it like a step up, but you got one knee up, one down. But
that's what I'm saying. You're using one quad instead of two.
For me, it would be right knee up, where you drive with, because I'm right-handed, right dominant anyway. You drive and then you're going towards a left-handed batter to throw to second. You follow what I'm saying? So there's some interference there.
I would feel like I'd be left knee up being right-handed.
It just kind of depends, and it might be.
It's awkward, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you're right-handed, you're not going to have your right knee down, because then you're catching across your body and you're closed up. You can't turn and throw.
Yep. You got to drive off that foot.
The whole thing's weird. I don't know. That's why they do it the way they do it. You know what I mean? That's why they've done it like that for 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's just give them a stool.
Yeah, I was about to say, let's just bring a wooden stool into the game.
Well, and then the other part about catching is you got some big gorilla breathing over your fucking neck the whole time.
Yeah.
To make, and then if you don't do a good job protecting them, umps take that shit personally.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them get hit on purpose these days.
I mean, to be fair, you shouldn't. These younger kids, you can't hold out on them. They're trying to learn the damn game. I mean, if you're in college or fucking pro player and you're being a jackass, that's a different story. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know.
Well, in Lyle's defense, no, I've seen little league coaches tell him to throw at the ump.
Yeah, I'll blame him. I've been told, I've been given the duck signal. So
yep, let it go. You look over to get that sign and he brushes it, and then you're like, oh, looks like ump's getting hit. Ump's taking one to the chin, baby.
Especially when I was playing travel ball. God, dog, man. Don't let you get a bad ump. He's going to have a rough day.
Yeah. You got that right.
I mean, because not only, I saw the other side of that too, but not only is it like hyper competitive travel ball, the parents, baseball parents, they're different, and they will let you have it. And
Parents
softball
are the
parents
worst.
too. Yeah, parents are terrible.
Parents are the worst.
Horrible people. I don't know why they allow parents at these sporting events,
especially at these younger ages. And you're absolutely right, because they're setting a poor example for children.
Did you see the? Here's a perfect example of exactly what we're talking about. It was a female basketball game. Did you see that one?
No.
So it was this big girl and a smaller girl. The smaller girl came over to guard the bigger girl. And I don't remember what happened, but the one girl turned a shot or whatever. And the little girl turned and was coming back to defend or whatever on the basketball court. And this bigger girl, you hear somebody holler, "You gonna let her get away with that? Punch her. You need to punch her in the face." And the girl went over and punched that little girl in the face. Just creamed her, knocked her to the freaking
I think
court.
I did see that. I think I did.
And it was her mother that told her to do it. Obviously, she's going to listen to her mother. She's going to, "You going to let her get away with that? You better do something." I can't remember exactly what she said, but I'm like, and they ended up stopping the game and the whole 9 yards and just stopped. And everybody went home because it was that ridiculous.
And they should have forfeited that game. I don't know the end result there, but and the parents should have been ejected. You can't come to no more games.
Oh, it was hugely televised.
Could have snuffed to this bullshit.
I remember a couple times. I remember a football game, little Pop Warner football game. One of the
hell, I think I stopped one of your games by accident. The carburetor flooded on my Harley. No,
it's possible.
I had to clear it out, and then it finally fired off, and he's like, "Oh, yeah!" As I was rolling off.
Yeah, it was a football game. One of the kids got hurt. Referee was being a dick. Like the kid's dad was one of the coaches, and he was just trying to, he's trying to go on the field and check on his kid, and the fucking ref was being a dick about it, like not letting him go check on his kid, and
that didn't end well, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's about as close to fisticuffs there as I've ever seen. And then there was a baseball game one time, a couple baseball games where coaches got into it with the umpire.
Oh, we had so the umpire was getting pissed because there was a parent hollering shit and basically telling the ump what a piece of shit he was, this, that, and the other. Come to find out, the guy I was coaching with was Barnhill. He's like, "You hear that shit?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That son of a bitch that's hollering at the ump is an ump." He was an umpire. And he ended up coming out on the field, raising hell. And then some of the other parents started coming back at him. And it was almost a fight on a little league baseball field between an umpire who wasn't umping that game and parents because he wouldn't shut up. He's bitching about the guy not calling strikes, not calling them right, this, that, and the other. You're wrong, blah, blah, blah. Dude, calm down. It's a little league baseball game. This is not the World Series. It's a bullshit. These kids are supposed to be having fun. You know what I mean? I don't think parents get lost in that sometimes, I think, because we've always told our parents, just let these kids play ball. It's all, just let us coach. You can't coach from the bleachers. Please don't even try, because if you say anything, they're going to listen to you. You're their parent. They're not going to listen to us.
Yeah.
They're going to listen to you. But anyway.
Yeah. I felt, I kind of felt bad when we went to the Little League World Series. There were some teams from, the first couple rounds, we run ruled through like the pool play, I think.
That's
so
always
we run ruled everybody. And I kind of, like thinking back on it, at the time I didn't, I wasn't thinking about that at the time. We're like,
no, you just wanted to win.
Yeah, we're winning.
Yeah.
But thinking back on it, I kind of felt bad for those teams. You get to go to the Little League World Series. You're probably from some obscure place where you can't play baseball year round like we do in the Southeast.
Right.
And you're probably just happy to be there. I don't know, but you get crushed like that. It's like, man,
it's demeaning. It's just like, God damn, I thought we were good. But I felt like our team was decent. Like we went undefeated. Jack's team, we went undefeated, I think 2 years in a row and won everything. But these kids that we had were together for years. Jack's team, and just like your travel ball team, you guys have played together for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
You knew each other, you knew how to play. And I mean,
actually on this team, this was the 10-year-old team. So I got picked up at the beginning of the season. Now those kids, everybody that was on that team, a lot of those guys, I mean, lifelong friends that I made that year. But a lot of those guys, they had played together for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Which it makes a difference. It makes a big difference.
Is that
It
the
also-
same year you played with Hayward?
Yeah. Yeah, we picked Hayward up for the World Series.
And it makes a
Why
big difference,
wouldn't
that kind of stuff. Like there's kids, I felt bad in rec ball when we would destroy people because
So,
a lot of these teams, they just had no idea. They,
So-
they got a bunch of new kids and
This is like, what was this? This was 98. I think it was 99, 98 or 99. Anyways, but we are the reason why. I mean, we started this crap back then. They do not let travel ball teams play in rec leagues anymore.
they're not supposed to, no.
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
But they do.
Because it was that year there was 3 travel ball teams. 2 of them had a like combined team outside of that league, and then it was us. And every other team, I mean, back then that park was really big, and there was a lot of kids in the area, a lot of teams, so it was a good league. But you felt bad for the other team. They didn't have a shot. They didn't have a chance in hell. I mean, you had 3 teams with all the best players in the county on those teams.
Yeah. I think we saw it the worst. We would come up against travel ball teams in the fall because they weren't traveling. They were, they did most of their travel ball playing in the spring, and fall was just like practice for them. The kids that weren't playing football were still on the travel ball team. So they'd put a team together and they would just keep it going through the fall. And then fall is usually more instructional. So you got like the worst kids out during fall. And then they come up against a travel ball team and just get fucking destroyed. I mean, you come up against a 10-year-old who's got a 2-foot curveball. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah. Never seen a curveball a day in your life.
Yeah. And these kids they're diving for their lives because they think they're about to get beaned. And the ump's like, strike. And they're like, what? What the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
And then they would run on you. Like these kids in the fall, like at 10 and 11 years old, when you start being allowed to steal, well, these kids are new to it, but the travel ball teams aren't. And they got a kid on second with a 15-foot lead. And we got a pitcher who doesn't know his ass from a manhole cover looking back, and he doesn't know what the fuck to do. And the coach just pitch, dude. Just pitch.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere.
We like the coach of this team, he slept and breathed this crap, right? So
yeah,
he had a whole baseball field built in his backyard.
Holy shit.
So we already had an advantage because we could practice whenever we wanted, as long as it wasn't raining.
Right.
Over the other teams who had to, schedule time at the park and stuff. So yeah, but I mean, that was probably from that year to the next 4 or 5 years, probably the most fun I had playing baseball. I played fall ball a couple times, but after, we would start practicing early February, sometimes January, and then we would play the regular leagues in the spring, and then you get into tournaments in the summer.
Yeah.
And then when July rolled around, for me, it was football season. So there was no fall ball. I think I played fall ball once or twice.
Yeah. Well, Jack never wanted to do travel ball because it was always in the summer. And it was like, do you want to do travel ball? He's like, sure, why not? It's like, all right, it starts in pretty much right when you get out of school. And he's like, wait, what?
I said summer, dumbass.
It's like, I was like, it goes in the summer. And he was like, so I don't get to go on vacation. We don't do. I was like, no, we'll be playing ball. And he's like, no, I'm good. He's like, let's go to Universal. Okay.
Away we go.
But then again, and even now, if you don't know somebody, I mean, obviously you still got to be a decent ball player. But it seems like even if you're a great ball player nowadays, if your parents don't support the baseball team, you're not playing. That shit's expensive.
Oh yeah.
Because I know kids when Jack was playing, and I talked to some of the parents who had older kids than the ones at Jack's age. And I was like, so like we had one friend in particular. It was like, so he's playing high school ball? She goes, no, he didn't make the team. Like, what the frick you mean he didn't make the team? This kid could stand flat-footed at a 300-foot fence and line drive one. I mean, just throw a ball on a rope to home plate. Flat-footed. He's freaking sick. Sick arm on him. He could throw a mean ass freaking curveball. He was he eat, sleep, breathe baseball, but his parents didn't have any money.
Mm.
And lo and behold, he wasn't playing.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
You can get lost in high school sports, unfortunately.
Well, too, and with football, you got
that's expensive too.
Yeah, it's expensive, but like when it comes to like getting scouted and everything like that, you have more opportunity because not only you got 3 or 4 divisions of football if you count JUCO, and then you have 85
JUCO?
JUCO, junior college.
Oh, sorry.
Get with it, man.
You have about 85 on major college football D1. You have 85 scholarship players, and most of them keep about 40 to 50 walk-ons. So there's opportunity.
Baseball teams just aren't that big.
With baseball, you get 11 and a half scholarships to man a 30-man roster. I think it's 30 or 35. Something.
11 and a half. That's it.
Yeah. Where do you get the half? You just cut a full in half, or you give him shoes and pants, and he's got to get his own jersey? What?
Like, hey, we're going to cover your education, but you got to cover room and board and everything else.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
But you end up like recruiting kids to college baseball is so much harder because of that. And it's like you're trying to sell them on, I get you like a quarter of a scholarship. You know what I mean? Like, hey, for a little bit.
There's just not as much money in it.
Yeah. And a lot of that has to do with, and, don't really, whatever anybody's feelings are on it, but women's sports, they took scholarships away from men's sports and gave them to women's. Which is
they just had to spread it. They just had to spread all that money thinner.
Yeah, and hoard more of it for the major colleges. Man, they got the money,
right?
For sure.
Well, if you're going to a D1 school,
plenty of money.
Yeah,
but then you also have to take into account, and we've had this conversation before too. College sports is very different, and there's only 2 sports that actually make money in college, and that's basketball and football.
Yeah, the only 2 that get watched.
Yeah,
it's hard to find a college baseball game on TV.
It is, and that's part of the problem. They don't have the viewership. And
it's getting better. It is getting better, but
it's like the women's softball. I mean, some of them girls are some ballers, and they have no exposure either.
They also get a different viewership, I think.
Well, they probably get
a pretty good dirty old man draw.
Yeah, I was going to say the creepers.
Yeah, but pretty much.
I mean, you watch some of those when they do actually get on ESPN and stuff, and they're playing in the bracket going up into the World Series, and you're like, damn, they're throwing that damn softball underhand that fast. You're like, that's impressive.
They're close too. They're 60 feet. Or 50 feet.
40 feet.
They're at 40 feet?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
40 feet. So 70 at 40 feet looks like 80.
It's like a little league. It's a little league field.
Yeah.
And when you go out there and look at it.
Fence is only 200 feet.
Yeah. You see these girls playing and you think it's on a regular, and it's not. Because you go out there and watch them and you're like, that's it?
I do think they need to back the fences up for the women. Like 50 feet.
I don't know, go to 270? At straightaway
depending on the field. Yeah, depending on the field. But yeah.
I don't know. But they talk about girls sport. Like I heard somebody talking about, they were specifically talking about, I think the conversation started with the WNBA, but even the girls college ball and this, like you said, they're taking scholarships, they're not taking scholarships. They're entitled. They're entitled to scholarships. Yeah. But like the WNBA, they wonder why they're not making money in this, that, and the other. And one of the podcasts I was listening to, the guys were talking about it. He's like, look, you could take a state championship or a state competitive high school boys basketball team, and they would smoke a WNBA team. He's like, hands down, they'd smoke them. But
yeah, I saw that.
That's the caliber that it's just, there's no comparison there, which is why they don't get the viewership. But,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of, it's apples and oranges, man. It's not the same game.
Yeah, people just don't understand that. It goes for a lot of things.
Yeah.
True. Yeah. And the sad part is you can't even have that conversation without someone being offended.
Well,
And it's not that I
get labeled a bigot.
Yeah. And it's not that I don't think they're worthy of anything or you think less of a brand. It's just a different.
If you don't sell seats, it don't matter what it is.
But you want to watch the best. You don't want to watch scrubs.
But you got to cater. You also have to cater your viewership to the right crowd. You're trying to cater it to people who don't want to watch it.
Right.
Right. Like Bill Burr was talking about. That's women's fault.
Don't women outnumber men?
You would think they did.
A little bit. It's not.
They're supposed to.
Dramatic in the States.
Not in China.
Yeah. No, definitely not in China.
Which is becoming a problem for them now.
Yeah, unfortunate.
That's a whole nother conversation as well. But
thank you for your patronage. Please share the podcast or tell a friend about it. You're listening to the program to help us support first responders and veterans alike. Stop by and check us out on Facebook. For those who would like to donate or subscribe to the program, you can do so at redcircle.com/Prime Cohesion.